system. Diamond 88.7 FM. Radio like no other.
On Diamond 88.7 FM, we give credible, factual, balanced reports at all time. Join us as we take you around the globe on the world news. Diamond 88.7 FM, Ilorin, your shining supreme station.
President Bola Tinubu identified livestock investments as the solutions to famines and those conflicts in Nigeria. The federal government targets 10 million jobs for youth in 5 years. In the water sport, Super Eagles striker Victor Boniface is sidelined with leg injury. Good evening and thank you for joining us for the news across the world on Diamond 887 FM in Lorry. I am Precious Afolabi D. And you can listen to us via website www.diamondfm.net or watch us live on Facebook at Diamond 887 FM. You can also download the app on Google Play Store, Diamond 887 FM. We'll bring you details of the news.
This message is reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM, Ilorin.
You're welcome back now. The news in detail. President Bola Tinubu has said his administration's renewed focus on driving international and local investment into the livestock sector of the agricultural value chain, which will end the crisis of farmers-herders clashes in Nigeria. And according to a statement by Tinubu's spokesperson Bayo Nanuga, the president spoke in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, during the signing of the letter of intent between the Nigerian government and the Jose Batista Cerejo company, one of the top 3 largest meat processing companies globally. Tinubu told the JBS executives that Nigeria is ready to do business, assuring them of good return on their investments. The Nigerian leader called on the company to see the considerable potential in what he called the 2.5 billion presta as the World Bank economist in his office in Abuja. He noted that some of the challenges faced by youth in the country include a lack of skills for the job market, inadequate vocational training, limited access to capital and funding, and infrastructural deficit. And he stated this since the assumptions of office as Minister of Youth Development, his focus has been on equipping youth people in Nigeria, the young people in Nigeria, with the requisite skills and needed to make them self-reliant and to contribute effectively to the national development. Olawande particularly highlighted the government's plan to create at least 10 million jobs directly and indirectly for youth in the country within the next 5 years. And the Enugu state government has lauded the arrest of the Simon Ekpa by the Finnish authorities, and it describes Ekpa as the terrorist and a criminal with no regard for the well-being of the Igbo people. A statement issued today by the secretary to the state government, Professor Chijiebere Onya, expressed the administration's readiness to present evidence against Ekpa, who the government accused of exploiting and destabilizing the southeast region. The Finland-based separatist was arrested and remanded in custody by direct court in Lathi on charge of terrorism, developments that the state government believes will enhance peace and stability in the region. The statement accused EPA of creating at the brief meeting today in Ibadan as he had added that out of the 15,000 shortlisted applicants, 900 successful candidates will be recruited to fill the vacant position in the civil service. And according to him, the recruitment is unprecedented in the history of Oyo State, as there has never been a time in the last 2 decades when such recruitment was done. Chief Aderi Bibe disclosed that the present administration in Oyo State had recruited 60. Adeyeye had dragged the governor of Kwara State, the then chairman Public Account Committee of the State House Assembly, Honorable Shahid Bukwola, Kwara State Civil Service Commission, and the state head of service, Mrs. Suzanne Oluwale, to court, asking that his removal from office as Auditor General of Kwara State was wrong. In his 36-paragraph statement of claim fact before the Auditor General was asking the industrial courts to declare that in the discharge of his duties, it did not commit any act of misconduct, and he among his 8 claims void and of no effect. He ordered that Mr. Omoni Adeyeye remains the Auditor General of Kwara State until 26 September 2023, when he clocked the retirement age of 60, adding that his salaries from 28th January 2022 up to that date be paid alongside all current entitlement within 1 month. The regional powers of the Redeemed Christian Church of God Houses CG, Regions 4, Kwara State, Nathaniel Adejuwon, has urged Nigerians to embrace righteousness and dedications as panacea to the present economic challenges of the nation. Adejuwon, who did not exonerate the Nigerian political leaders from the socio-political and economic doldrums in a press statement at the Redeemed Christian Church of God regional headquarters, serves the world as reaching you from Diamond 887 FM Ilori. We're going to break now. When we return, we'll bring you the foreign sports news. After this, please stay with us.
Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at Diamond 887 FM. Diamond FM, shining supreme.
Welcome back. Now we go to the foreign scene. Ukraine suspends parliament sittings today for one-day sitting of the potential Russia missiles attack after President Vladimir Putin issued a warning to the West by launching a new intermediate-range missile Tuesday in the Brussels to discuss the escalations in Kyiv's Ukraine capital, which is frequently targeted by Russian drones and missiles. Parliament cancels its usual sitting today over fears of strike. And still on the foreign news, the second Australian teenager has died of suspected methanol poisoning, bringing to 6 the number of the foreign tourists which have died after apparently drinking tainted alcohol in Laos. And the family is of the Holy Bird 19th and said it was with a broken heart that they confirmed her death more than a week after she fell ill in the tourist town of the Vang Ving. And as the real Beatons-Jones, also 19th, and the British lawyer Simon Wythe, 28, from Southeast London were confirmed. And now in the world of business, Kanji Jabal Power Plant recorded about 30.5 billion as losses caused by the grid failure between 2022 and 2024. The amount incurred as external losses was occasioned by the incessant collapse of the national grid. A document released to newsmen reveals that two of the highest generating plants in the country had accumulated as loss of 30.55 billion naira, with the highest loss recorded in the current year. An analysis of the document shows that the losses were caused by system collapse, system instability, high frequency ramp down, and unplanned outages. Records that the National Grid expressed its latest disbursement as the 2024 box office champion, and as the actress was awarded by the box office champions by the federal government through the National Films and Video Censors Board. Turiola broke Ibrahim's records with our latest movie, Queen Latifah, which has become one of the highest grossing Nigerian films of all time. Since its release in September, the film has grown to 350 million naira in just 2 months. Surpassing Abraham's Malaika, which earned 302 million naira. And the new achievement has placed Queen Latifah amongst the Nollywood top 7 highest grossing films. The film is now poised to challenge the record set by actress Funke Akindele with A Tribe Called Judah in the battled and Booker Street films. And lastly, in the world of sports, Super Eagles and Bayern Leverkusen strike, but also, and Alonso was optimistic that strikers will be back soon. Ford Patrick Schick has started just twice in the league this season and is expected to step up in the Nigerians' absence. Finally, in the world of sport, about 12,000 to 15,000 athletes are expected to participate at the forthcoming 22nd National Sport Festival tagged 2024 Gateway Games, scheduled to hold at not to happen as before in its history of the festival, and it revealed in conclusions of the digitalized feeding and the volunteer system, as well as a catering system where food will be scientifically tested to guarantee the health and safety of the athletics. With that, we have come to the end of the news across the world, but before we go, here again are the recap of the major stories. President Tinubu identified livestock investments as the solutions to farmers' conflict in Nigeria. Federal government targets 10 million jobs for youth in 5 years. Enugu government welcomes Simon Helper's arrest in Finland. In foreign, Ukraine parliament cancels sessions over threat of Russia attack. In business, Kanji Jebel power plant lose 30 billion naira. An entertainment actress Wumi Toriola move breaks box office record. And the Super Eagles striker Victor Boniface is sidelined with leg 6. As the news across the world was edited by Abiodun Akinwumi, I am Precious Afolabi. Many thanks for listening to your shining supreme station.
You cannot control me. You cannot. Okay, you can have a little control, but I'm still in charge. I can